What's good, fans? This is El Tirador, Alex Rivera, also known as the Latin Shooter, and you're watching BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. Check it out. Vaya!
Welcome back, everybody. BJ here, DG there.
What's up, everyone? Boy, right now we are here. I guess for me to freeze up and then talk about Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. It opened up with Oba and Brock segment. Very, very well done.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff coming from that. I like the whole security thing coming out because it's just like, why does Brock Lesnar need security?
And then later in the show, it was announced, or no, they were police. And later in the show, it was announced that they weren't real police officers.
But yeah, a lot. One of the major takes from that opening segment for me was that Oba confirmed he is not owed a title shot for winning the King of the Ring, as we kind of speculated without it being. It seemed like they confirmed it at one point, but now hearing it from him directly, and the reason being, why would I take a title shot if you're just going to show up and cost me the title? I got to deal with you first.
Which doesn't have to be the way it is.
No, but he's understanding that he's seen what's happened in the past. You know, if Brock Lesnar wants something, typically Brock Lesnar gets it. So in this situation, Brock Lesnar's like, hey, you know what? Or Oba Femi's like, hey, you know what? If I have to go into Hell in the Cell to eventually get back to the world title through Brock Lesnar, then so be it. He's not scared. He knows that he's destined to be a world champion. It's just on pause. But we know in the next 6 months, there's at least 2 guaranteed opportunities almost if he's in those matches for him to earn a world title shot. And the way it's looking, if he gets through Brock at SummerSlam in Hell in the Cell, it's going to be hard to deny this man Money in the Bank or Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to make for a very good case that they're extending that Brock Lesnar playbook now. They're like, all right, we did this in a 4 to 6 month span last time. What if we go actual year build with all this and get him there instead of strapping the rocket to him?
All right. On one hand, I'm disappointed that means Roman has to hold it longer. But on the other hand, it's like I get it, like they're not rushing him. You know what I mean? Like he's still been less than a year. He's been on the main roster.
It was around Royal Rumble time when he got his call, and technically he's still considered a free agent. So he's technically not even signed to a show. He's just in a major feud, so that puts him on Raw. If you're feuding with Brock Lesnar, you're on Raw.
Appearing on the main roster. Yeah. Well, not necessarily, because Brock Lesnar is also a free agent, so that could happen on any show.
It's almost surprising they haven't tried to cross it over, but then again, that could be a whole Netflix and USA thing. Like, well, we want Brock Lesnar on our show, right? So whoever he's going up against, and even typically with SmackDown, if it's been a SmackDown guy recently, he's still come over to Raw, and maybe Heyman appears on SmackDown to continue the feud. But no, I'm still very happy with what they did this week. Oba completely destroyed those security guards.
Yeah. Well, they were fake police officers.
Well, whatever they were cannon fodder for Oba Femi.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, very good opening, a hot opening segment. Crowd was into it for Dallas.
Yeah. So many times I heard them say Dallas, and I thought they said Bo Dallas. It got me all
Nope.
excited.
Nope. Unfortunately not. That would be, yeah, Uncle Howdy was fired, not Bo Dallas.
Right? Well, hey, in the case of fake Razor Ramon and Diesel, they own the rights to the characters. They could still do a Wyatt's thing if they want with all the puppets.
The Tamu Six. But yeah, like we were saying, no, good opening segment. Got a lot of good information out of it, a lot of good setup. We still have 3 weeks till SummerSlam. So it'll be interesting to see how this builds. I kind of hope we get like maybe the go home Raw. They have the Hell in the Cell in that arena, just so we kind of get a preview of them in the cell, or
Right.
just they're alluding to it, and then whatever they decide to do with that, but just something like that. So you get that image of them in the cell, like, okay, yep, this is what I want.
Yeah.
David Jr., John Cena, Backraw. Okay.
I said it better myself.
Yeah. That makes sense, I guess. But yeah, moving on to our opening match of the evening. Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez.
With Liv and Raquel at ringside, I believe it was.
Yes. Yeah, all the Judgment Day ladies were at ringside.
Solid opener. Definitely set the tone for the night.
I mean, yeah, like they had a really good back and forth match with each other. Like, I can't wait for Roxanne Perez to break back out because they're wasting her in this group at the
absolutely.
moment.
Yeah.
Like, her and Raquel should be tag teaming, or they should both, or one of them needs to separate from the group so they can both be in that women's intercontinental title picture.
Oh, definitely. And Raquel, I wouldn't say is far from like the main women's title. So
No, I agree with that. She could be either or.
So I
at
could
the
definitely
moment.
see them splitting up and like doing their own thing, maybe even switching shows. One of them, at least.
But yeah, Io Sky picks up the win with a roll up, which was a counter to a roll up, which was very well done. I thought that a lot of that match was very well done. We have the ladies of the Judgment Day attack Io afterwards, which brings out Sol Ruka to try and make the save, but boy. Oh, her being swung into the barricade and then into the ring post. Holy crap. I was just like, ooh. That did not look good at all. That looked like it hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
The way this ends is with them getting a hold of Io, and you get a shot to the head with the belt, which I'm really glad they brought that back over the last couple years.
Yeah.
Because it is definitely that knockout blow.
Mm-hmm. It
And
looks
we used
good,
to
but
see,
it doesn't have to be like actually like damaging.
I think one of my favorite people to do it, honestly, was The Rock. The way he would just launch himself like a missile holding
and
it.
then follow through.
Yeah. Or the running one with the follow through.
Yeah.
Austin was good with that one too.
Top 10 belt shots coming soon on BJ and DG Talk Radio.
It just got old after a while seeing the hit to the back, and it's just like, oh, that's supposed to knock him out.
Yeah. My spine.
But no, they're at least putting something into this feud. It's just a shame. Like, I see people online, oh, Rhea's injured, she'll forfeit the title. Yeah, well, Liv hasn't defended the title. Oh, but she shows up every week. Doesn't matter. She still hasn't defended her championship, has she?
Right. Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, the same rule should apply. Like, I don't understand. It seemed like they were putting a rocket back on Liv, and then they were just like, "You're going to win it at WrestleMania and never defend it. We're giving you the Jade run, just with one less title defense." But yeah, they definitely, with the feuds they have set up, are definitely building them now, being 3 weeks out.
Yeah, it's the picture's starting to become a lot clearer. A lot of the matches have been made, and a lot of them are like, on the verge of being made.
Yeah, we still see a little bit of setup to where probably after this week in Saturday night's main event, we're going to have a bit more definitive stuff.
Is the full card out for that yet?
I think they announced it tonight, but I forgot to take note of it all. But most of it's what we talked about: the women's tag match, Danhausen, JD McDonough.
All right, I'll look it up.
I know there's another. I think they announced 2 more. But yeah, after that, we had the new World Tag Team Champions coming out, Division. They come out to speak. Before Maxine could really speak, they get interrupted by Otis and Tozawa. And boy, was this an interesting segment here. DJ.
All right, so we got. I'm looking it up. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah. The CM Punk and Cody versus Sami Zayn and Gunther. Yeah,
Right.
and I think there's one other one.
Paige and Brie versus Fatal Influence. Danhausen, JD, and Roman Reigns and Jalen Brunson. Okay, yeah, that's right. I remember that announcement. But they didn't fully announce it. So, okay, so we have a better picture, though.
Yeah.
After tonight.
But yeah, Otis and Tozawa talking to Maxine tonight. Boy.
Yeah, that was interesting. Maxine did the whole like, oh, I never knew you felt this way, and blah, blah, blah. And then just, Otis catches a low blow from behind, and Maxine is just.
After she was acting like she was going to kiss him.
Right. She lured him in with that kiss, and then he caught a nut shot.
I wouldn't be surprised to have them in a tag title match added to Saturday night's main event.
Well, clearly Archives isn't watching, or else he would have been in the chat by now.
Yeah, right. That's because I probably didn't post, in all honesty, have a chance to post about this.
So yeah, Tozawa and Otis are just brokenhearted and beaten and dejected, and the Vision stand tall.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough watch for that, but boy, Tozawa needs to work on his acting a little bit.
I thought it was hilarious.
So did I.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was trying to be serious.
But that was a bit of a moment. Oh, excuse me, for it to be a bit more serious. In my opinion.
My thing is because you don't really hear him talk often. And when you do, it's all like energetic and wah. So, so hearing him serious, it's like, I don't know, it was a different take, but.
So then we have a couple interesting things happen after. The way they did the show after this was a little bit interesting for these next segments. They announced War Games will be in Houston this year at the end of the commercial break between this. And then we come back from commercial and we're just in a match that was not advertised. That was it even being interested started before going in the commercial. We come back to Royce Keys versus Jimmy Uso.
Out of nowhere.
And they kind of showed it. So anybody who's not in America and watches the show, you get to see it ad free, basically, with little WWE podcast plugs or whatever here and there. And so apparently Jimmy Uso was out cutting a promo, and during the commercial break, it was attacked by Royce Keys. Adam Pearce came out, made it official. So we came back from commercial with Royce Keys versus Jimmy Uso. A rematch from this past Friday night on SmackDown. And well, they're having their match. There's a moment where I think they're kind of both down and just fighting back, and Jacob Fatu arrives to the arena. He walks by a monitor, sees the match going, goes out there, and just attacks Royce Keys. We get the same setup that we got Friday night, where he warned him with the chair around his neck to stay out of all this. And as he was setting up with the chair set up around Royce Keys with him sitting in the corner, we get Solo out there trying to call it off. He gets on the mic, starts making it. He's seen the light, and he's rejoining the family. He's rejoining the bloodline. One of my
throws the one up.
Yeah, I was getting there. Throws the one up, and then all of a sudden, you see it go down, and he has it set for the Samoan spike and hits Jimmy with the spike. This leads to them starting to brawl. All four guys brawling, which brings out LA Knight after Jacob and Jimmy get control of the situation with a chair.
Yeah.
Makes the save, gets on the mic, and after cutting a promo, endorsing basically Solo and Royce, saying he can't do it alone. He challenges the Usos and Jacob Fatu to a 6-man tag team match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Whoa, why is that so high? I don't know, but
I
also
accidentally hit that, I think.
Okay, well, why were there? And I brought it up, but we had to get to this.
War Games.
You know, there's a reason that just stays there, because you never know when we could use it.
And also, you did say
War Games.
Oh,
I definitely did say.
War Games.
yeah. That's when I accidentally put the slider up, is when you were.
War Games.
Yeah, it would have been the perfect opportunity for that, but I hit the wrong button. I couldn't fix it, so it's just like, the moment passed.
Yeah, well,
War
you know,
Games.
it was the perfect opportunity for it.
War Games.
I'm sorry.
Dummy. Yeah.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
I'm better than you.
Did you just cancel what I played?
No, it played.
Oh, I didn't hear it. It's always it always cuts it off. I guess.
Bye bye, bitch.
But yeah, so we get the challenge.
Stupid
It had,
idiot. You just made the list.
All right.
welcome to BJ and DG. Use sound effects.
We haven't done the main show. We haven't been on in almost a week. So
Yeah,
we're just getting
that's
all out of
true.
our system.
But yeah, so it hasn't been made official yet, but it looks like SummerSlam. LA Knight is now in in a 6-man tag, just like WrestleMania. Besides, this time he's going up against the Usos instead of teaming with them. Very interesting to see how they're bringing this together.
I like it. And I'm not a fan of the whole bloodline angle or anything, but I like that they're finally getting some opposition and someone's finally standing up.
I still question where Solo is fully, but that's just because we know how this all can play out. He could reluctantly be forced to rejoin. But I'm interested in this. I'm glad to see they're doing something with Royce and Solo. It's good opposition for the bloodline at the moment.
And like, I'm just glad they're using Royce at all, but especially now, like he's in a higher profile kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. And now an interesting backstage segment that happens after that. We get the Vision walking backstage on the way to their locker room. Heyman standing there. Heyman gives them all props. And after he gives them their props and everything, Austin Theory asking the question, so does this mean you're back with us? His reply, what do you need me for? You got her, pointing at Maxine, and just walks off. Is Paul Heyman no longer part of the Vision?
It seems like now that he's with Brock, he doesn't need them.
But I mean, I think about it even more because there was a time where he was still doing both. Now, does it just seem like that he feels like the Vision isn't worth his time now? And that they're putting Maxine in the manager spot of the team and moving Paul Heyman on to something else? Because let's be honest, it's either Heyman could be being written off TV, in all honesty, as a way to look at it.
Like
Because after Brock leaves, if SummerSlam truly is his retirement, or do we have something else planned for Paul Heyman to do once Brock is gone?
it does, now that you mention it, it does seem like a write-off situation. Like he's with Brock until Brock is ultimately defeated and retired, and then he goes away for a while. And comes back. Yeah, I mean, but I mean, you got Bronson Reed returning soon. Breaker isn't going to be like, yeah, a wise man, wise woman, like
No.
Maxine, not that person, like, so obviously, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds.
Yeah, it really is very interesting at this point. I mean, I don't mind the idea of it because the idea was for Paul to be with Seth.
Right.
The initial idea, we don't know where Paul's allegiance would have been had the storyline gotten to play out to the way it was meant to.
Right.
Which is fine. I'm just interested to see where it goes for Heyman after the fact. Like, if SummerSlam really is Brock's last run, he puts Oba over in Hell in a Cell, and we just completely move on. What's next for Paul Heyman? Are we just seeing Paul Heyman shift himself out of being on TV until there's something worth him doing? Does he maybe go back to working with Seth in this whole thing? Seth Roman, I assume, is going to be the Night 2 main event at the moment.
No, honestly, I think he'll probably go away for a while and come back when the landscape's a little different. But I just had a funny thought. What if Brock doesn't retire, but he's retired at Survivor Series by Baron Corbin?
No. But there's an idea. What if
Baron Corbin could become another legend kid?
But what if Baron Corbin becomes a Paul Heyman guy? I wouldn't mind that pairing. I would not mind that pairing at all. And I see BJ has just decided to leave the chat. That I think that would be a fantastic pairing of two. Does it need to happen? No, not at all.
Maybe 10 years ago.
No, I think it would work now. But he's going by the Nomad now, so it would make no sense.
Right, he walks alone.
Yeah. But just thinking about somebody that, like, hey, we look at what he's gone through in his career, a lot of those ups and downs. Somebody that could help stabilize that on screen would be a Paul Heyman. In the chat,
Hey,
Skills
what's up,
the
Skills?
Great.
Yeah,
Great to
seeing
see you in
Saturday.
here.
Yeah, man.
Was awesome seeing you this Saturday, by the way, at Gremlin House Wrestling.
Yeah, man. Good show, good time.
I'm currently working on a highlight package for Instagram for that, for the
Yeah,
Feral Face match,
I'm going through my footage and seeing what I can post.
which we will talk some about tomorrow on Indie Spotlight. Make sure to
Oh,
tune in.
hey. You're frozen, so I'll wait.
If the graphic will pop up.
There we go. You were frozen for a second there. I was going to say it's kind of relevant because we did get to see and Too Sweet the Good Brothers. So it is relevant to mainstream. Are you muted?
Yeah. I did get
Or
a moment
no?
to talk with. No,
You were just
I did get a moment just to.
okay. Go ahead.
I did have a moment to talk to Carl Anderson before leaving as well, which was cool.
Yeah, I kind of marked out and was just like, "Loved you guys in New Japan," and like ran away. I don't know. I mean, I meet wrestlers every week. A lot of the time I meet guys who like I know and I'm familiar with and I've seen on TV. And some guys that I meet, I'm like, oh my God, I've loved you guys for forever.
Yeah, here's one thing we can say though, given current company in the chat, we're talking about managers. That was the manager of Champions.
Skills to great.
Yeah, just saying. There is only one manager of the Champions, regardless of contrary to the belief of Don Callis on Dynamite this past week.
Or Bill Alfonso.
He was just a referee with a whistle. But I love Bill Alfonso.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was a manager, but never billed as manager of Champions, and didn't have the rise that Skills the Great had, which
I know. I believe he did use that at one point.
Did he? Maybe was it like the ECW time when RVD was
when
tag team champion with Sabu and TV champion?
I believe he did around that era. I think he did at some point. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Before he turned and went with Taz.
Right. Sorry.
But yeah, man, like we were saying, I'm very interested to see where things go with the Paul Heyman story. Like I'm starting to notice with a lot of this is I'm not necessarily invested in the full stories, but just the single character story.
True. Yeah, the individual character arcs as opposed to the overall theme.
Yeah. Like when it comes to overall arc, something we're obviously going to talk about Roman Seth, because we were watching before going live, which we had won't mention no names, did have a third party with us as well, to where my comparison of how I see Roman Seth now.
You got to protect their identity. I get it.
Do I though?
Hi guys, this is Sam Reaper, and you're watching BJ and DG Wrestling Talk Show.
And welcome back.
We'll never know.
But yeah, after that we had backstage segment with Adam Pearce was on the phone, which you mentioned, which was with Obafemi, where we get confirmed the security guards and the restraining order or whatever was completely bogus to begin with.
Police. They weren't security guards. They were.
They said you go back and look. It said security on their stuff. They were security.
They were announced as police officers.
But it said security on their stuff.
That's fine. Because, like he said, give it up for Dallas's finest or something like that.
The Dallas's finest mall cops.
Dallas's finest indie wrestlers.
Oh, man.
I'll have to watch that back, but yeah.
No, totally. No, but they do say finest, but then also on their stuff it said security.
I only saw the shots when they were like facing the camera, when it was
Yeah,
like
so
from the ring.
yeah. And then I think there's a quick conversation again about him giving up his title shot so they could reaffirm what was said in the ring and just make sure that everybody catches on. Obafemi is not due to championship match.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. He's going to get there one way or the other. If I
Honestly,
have
I
to,
could see them like really like delaying it and like having him being in feuds whenever like opportunities for like these title shots come up.
I
Like
think they're waiting for WrestleMania. I think they want to give him that light on the bigger stage.
like he'll be in a Money in the Bank contendership match and someone will run in and attack him and like he won't.
Or he'll get like 3 announce tables, a bunch of chairs, some extra turnbuckles and ring ropes that are somehow under the ring. But yeah, a segment
like
that I would love to hear your take on, the Bailey and Lyra segment in the ring.
Oh, can't they just hug and make up?
No, that would be no fun.
Yeah, no. This is going to be a really good match at main event, I believe. Right? It was announced for.
Maybe that or SummerSlam.
It was one or the other. I'm pretty sure it was main event.
I'm about to say,
no,
didn't you just look it up?
I did. It was probably SummerSlam then. No, yeah, this is going to be a good match. Hopefully, it's a blow off to their feud because it's been going on way too long. And
Well, this would be the first match in their feud.
Yeah, I get it, but
they haven't even had. They've done 2 promos and then 1 face to face. The feud just started, man.
No. It needs to end. It needs to end. I mean, they've been together so long. Like, you could argue that the feud has been going on a long time, but it's just like now come to a head. But what I'm saying is, like, they don't need a long feud out of this one. They need to have their blow off and go their separate ways.
No, I think it should be a one-off. This with the occasion, like where they keep crossing over until you get back. One of them gets gold, and you get back to it.
Well, that makes sense too. But like for now, I could definitely see this just being a blow off and them going their separate ways. Yeah. I think it was for SummerSlam that they said. Now that I think of it.
Yeah, I do think the challenge was for SummerSlam. But what about Lyra's look? She looked like she's been living in a dumpster for the last 2 weeks on a binge.
I know. She looks very sexy. Welcome back to BJ Talk.
Yowie wowie.
Yeah. I guess I'm looking forward to this match, even though it's going to be like my sandwich break of hey. Hello. Go on.
No, but like her appearance was just weird to me. And I also just real quick see your point of like the feud thing, but I feel like now, remember when we talked about they ditched the one thing with Bailey? Why does it feel like they just took that and gave it to Lyra? Because this is a completely different Lyra than we've seen in the past.
Oh yeah, agreed.
Like it's just weird. It was a big throw off for me, like seeing like not her like necessarily being a baby face get up, but why did she look like she literally pulled her clothes out of a dumpster?
It would be interesting to see
so many questions.
It would be interesting to see this go full circle and have Lyra be the multiple personalities You
And that
know,
she was imagining it the entire time. Like when her head was outside the door, it was it's like a Fight Club moment. It was really her arguing outside the door with herself the entire time.
what? Bailey's been injured for like 2 years. What are you talking about?
Oh man.
Bailey returns his hugger.
All right, so hold on. The challenge was, I haven't noted, it was made for Saturday night's main event.
Told you.
Yeah, this breaks down with them brawling. Very interesting. Lyra ends it with a Bailey to belly.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we go to commercial. Coming back from commercial, we get a video package airing that shows a much familiar face if you watch AEW recently. And if you haven't, you just haven't seen this person in WWE in a while. But then you hear the voice talking. And one of the first things they show is a sign that says SAWFT. They do show a quick clip of Enzo in this as well, but it was a video package for the return, a big cast with the date of August 3rd. Anyway, I don't want to creep anybody out. But yeah, so big cast that if it wasn't official before and just rumor, it's now full blown official.
Whatever. Why?
I think he improved a lot with character work in AEW. I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff he did in AEW once he was able to do stuff. And as long as they're not saddling him with that same type of character that he was with Cass, especially if especially if Enzo's not returning with him and it's just him.
Enzo's going to return with him, if not shortly after.
I mean, I feel like that's probably the route they'll go. But what is August 3rd a Monday night? I believe so. Yeah, that is a Monday night. That is the first Monday Night Raw of March because SummerSlam's the first and the second. So that makes sense.
All right. It'll be your first solo Monday night review show.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm interested to see because, there could be some interesting competition there. It just all depends on how they pair it up first and they return him. So it is a bit of a wait and see what they're going to do. But there's, like I said, fresh talent for him to go up against. Especially if we're talking about in the singles and not even tag team division.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like Rusev and...
I don't think you revisit that right away or even visit that right away. Yeah, I don't think you visit that right away neither.
No, I'm just saying ultimately, like, these are like, things
You mean ultimately matches he's probably had in AEW already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Welcome to Monday Night Dynamite. Friday Night Collision. Oh wait, that's already a thing occasionally.
I'm taking Punk, Cody, bring up Lexus King.
Put the
Sean
Lucha
Spears,
Brothers back together.
Page.
Hey man, we got this here.
No, but I'm just thinking of like big man matches for him because it's not gonna be like it's not gonna be like him versus Mysterio or like like him versus Dragon Lee.
Oh, it will be though. Dragon Lee will probably be the first to fall.
I get that. But I'm saying
no,
like,
it'll be Otis. My bad.
Otis Entozawa.
Yeah, why not?
That's every big guy. I just want them to come in and just beat Otis and Tozawa like right off the bat. No, I know. He'll be about to lose to Otis and Tozawa, and Enzo will come out and make the save.
But I am, like I said, I'm interested to see where it goes. There's plenty of competition there for him. And even if it's not him signed to a show right away, like we could say if he were to end up for whatever reason on SmackDown, he's a free agent for a bit. Big Cass versus Baron Corbin.
Not interested.
How are you? That's an even matchup there.
I just don't really enjoy Baron Corbin matches, really.
Baron Corbin is one of the few guys whose finisher is actually protected in wrestling right now.
Yeah, and I don't get it. It looks okay, but it doesn't look like devastating. But yeah, Corbin, like I haven't seen anything he's done since he left and since he's been on the Indies, although I have like a bunch of like MLW stuff saved. Uh, that's where he was, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the companies he was with, yeah.
I have a bunch of MLW stuff like watch later on YouTube. I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, I don't know. I'll see what he comes with. And, I don't watch a lot of SmackDown anyway. So it's just a matter of seeing what he brings to the table and, like, seeing the presentation and, like, his in-ring right now and seeing, like, reintroducing myself to him and, like, just erasing everything I know about him. I don't want to think about, like, the dog food days. The sad days, the happy days, the broke days, the rich days.
Yo, Sad Corbin and Broke Corbin was freaking amazing. I hated Happy Corbin, but I love Sad and Broke Corbin. Those were great times, especially considering that people were legit. Like he would come out holding his hat out during the Broke Corbin days, and people were actually giving him real money. And if they had started a real GoFundMe and not a kayfabe one, he probably would have actually made money off of it.
Hey, well, I mean, at WWE shows, people have money. I mean, at indie shows, we saw people throw a couple ones and a five into the ring to be stapled onto the body of Connor Claxton.
Or who he was facing.
No, he was facing Carino. I think Connor Claxton got the bills stapled onto him.
Yeah.
And it was funny too, after the match, I saw like a bunch of the crumpled up bills like on the side of the ring, and I was like, oh, well, somebody can have those. They got like Connor Claxton's blood on them. I don't need them.
But yeah, so after that, we get our main event match of the evening.
Yes.
The Intercontinental Championship #1 contender gauntlet match.
This one, very good. All of the individual parts of the gauntlet were amazing.
Yeah. Dom and Joe Hendry had a really good match.
Rusev and Javon.
Oh, we'll get there on that one.
No, I mean, I'm just saying we'll get there, but yeah.
Yeah, Javon and Dom had a good one that ended with Javon with Danhausen coming out and cursing him. Which is just to build up the feud for all that going on. I wasn't thinking about Danhausen coming out, but I wasn't surprised about it.
They have a thing going on.
Yeah. And then we had Javon Evans and Dragon Lee, which was pretty good as well. I enjoyed that segment of the match. But Javon Evans and Rusev, just wow. Same thing with Rusev and Chad Gable. Like, Rusev, the way that match ended with the referee stopping it with Evans and Rusev was very good. I really enjoyed where that went and how they did it. Because they're slow building Javon. And they're doing it the right way, I feel like, at the moment. Will I feel like that 6 months from now? I don't know. We will see. But Rusev and Chad Gable was very fun. I love how they used that with Ethan Page coming out last, and after Gable beat Rusev, that he just had the accolade locked in and wouldn't let it go.
Right.
I really did enjoy how they did that. But yeah, and then Rusev just has that accolade, like I said, locked in. Ethan Page comes out. Rusev's just like, go get him. And you would have felt like their Ethan Page was getting a rematch for the Intercontinental title.
At that
Nope.
point, yeah.
This turned it actually somehow into a match, which I have no argument about. But it was pretty much at that point after the accolade, I'm like, Gable's winning this.
Right. Yeah. But this was a very good match in itself.
Yeah. Very good match. Ethan Page, hell of a fight, but Chad Gable gets the win with that ankle lock. And wins the gauntlet and goes on to face Penta at SummerSlam in his hometown for the Intercontinental Championship. Looking forward to that match. This is oddly enough, this is a full story come around.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if Chad Gable came out as El Grande Americana?
He can't use the gimmick ever
I
again.
know, I know. He just turned heel. Like erased the past like 2 months of storytelling.
But not just the full idea, like I said, of this full, even with the injury of what he did in AAA with him and Ludwig doing the whole El Grande Americano gimmick, which they both kill it with the gimmick. I don't care, really didn't care in the end if they were both unmasked. One guy unmasked. Anyway, I don't have time for that nonsense. All right. Like, who doesn't matter who they put on a hell of a mask versus mask match. And we are getting this redemption story with Chad Gable. And we're very much to a point where before that started, we all wanted gold on Chad Gable. It feels like he's finally going to get there and get it.
It's been a while since I've got to talk about El Grande Americano.
Who?
Chad Gable.
No, he's not El Grande Americano. He was El Grande Americano, but he's no longer El Grande Americano. There's only one El Grande now.
Who?
Ludwig Kaiser. We just went over this.
Oh, come on. Nobody's seen him in months, almost a year now.
Well, then you need to open your eyes, sir. Maybe go get him checked.
It's Leo Rush.
Nah. He's off being some little possessed demon in AEW.
Anyway.
But
Looking forward to this match.
I love Penta, but I'm kind of rooting for Gable on this one.
Penta retains, but this Clash of Styles is going to make for an excellent match.
I don't know. I think Gable winning the title would really be a good, fresh start for that division. And changes up what we've seen recently of some of the higher flyer guys holding that title.
I'm just realizing how long Penta's held it now, and it feels like it's time.
You know, like now Javon Evans winning it. Now we get somebody like a Kurt Angle style wrestler holding that title. That's going to completely refresh that division. And it gives new matchup. Penta's practically beaten everybody in the division.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Almost everybody. And the few that he has it were either written off temporarily or just haven't gotten there yet.
He hasn't beaten Baron Corbin yet.
Well, it looks like Baron Corbin wants a furry United States title belt, so
Penta loses, and then goes over to SmackDown and joins.
No, he goes to AAA and the Lucha Brothers get back together.
Well, isn't
After the War Raiders beat R-Truth and Damian Priest and become double champions.
right, but isn't Ray Phoenix on SmackDown?
He's also the AAA Cruiserweight champion in AAA.
Right.
So,
So wouldn't it make sense for Penta to go to SmackDown and build that?
no,
So
you
then-
don't. No, Penta goes back to AAA for a while.
Like, yeah, but also SmackDown, I'm saying.
No, just have him on AAA, so exclusive to one show.
Nope,
No, Bullet Club's done.
never gonna happen.
Yeah, Bullet
Funny.
Club's done.
It's funny
And
you-
anyway,
you
it
say
would
that.
just it would
funny you
just
say
be the
that.
yeah.
We both two-sweeted Gallows and Anderson 2 days ago.
No, but the group is done. Like,
No,
it-
yeah. The
yeah.
group is WWE's never going to use them. New Japan's never going to use them. AEW dropped all references to them. Bullet Club is
And Tama Tonga has even said that he's abandoning his past, which is why him and Finn are now currently in a feud with each other over
And
on
honest-
SmackDown. No, but on
Everybody-
honest, go ahead.
everybody's all scattered anyway. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Bullet Club reunions across shows would be like, oh, there's 2 guys over here, 3 guys over here. You know,
it would just be very much of a logistic there. But I still say I would love to see a stable that crosses both shows but stays separate at the same time. And it's just something where it's the same manager, like something with Paul Heyman, same group, but he's the only one that can cross the shows to manage said groups
right.
instead of the stars. And then the only time the group should be fully together is when it's called for. There's a special reason, a PLE, or it's just something that's planned ahead of time, like a Raw Super Show or a SmackDown Super Show or something like that, to where we know it's being promoted as such, as that special occasion.
Have we ever really seen something like that in WWE? I mean, I know with like,
Not since they redid the brand split. They occasionally will throw it out
Right.
there, the word, but it's not a crossover between both brands, unless we're talking like WrestleMania weekend or that week or something like that, is when they
yeah,
typically,
or the wild card rule.
which thank God that's gone.
Thank God Vince is gone.
But yeah, Bullet Club not have like then they wouldn't use the name in WWE anyway. It would just be the club.
Yeah.
Or
If they were going to, they would have when they had AJ and Finn and Gallows and Anderson. They would have done it then.
I mean, they kind of did. It would just suck that Finn Balor was never a part of it.
Yeah, but they never used Bullet Club. You know.
No, but they acknowledged its history through the club.
Right, but
At
that's the
that time,
closest
that was them
they were gonna get.
acknowledging the history and not just being able to use the name because Bullet Club was trademarked. And
Yeah, and
Finn
then-
was the one who started it anyway. So, like I said,
Right.
no issue without him being in it. It's just a travesty he was never part of it.
And it's fine because it wasn't the real thing anyway. It was 3 guys. You know what I mean? Like Bullet Club has always been like a mob. you know.
I mean, WWE has also never done stables that were that big, unless you're talking the corporation or the or
Not
the
for a long
ministry
time.
or
Not
the
for a long
corporate
time.
ministry, and that didn't
Yeah.
last long. Like the only when I think of groups like that, I think of the like Bullet Club, the NWO.
Aces and Eights.
They never got up to those numbers though.
They had
They had rotating members
no.
that
They had,
eventually.
at one point they had. Let me do the count. Bully, Devon, Anderson,
D'Lo, Garrett Bischoff.
Garrett, and who was the other kid? Briscoe, Wes Briscoe,
And then Taz.
Knox, Gallows. At one point they had Evil East, but that was for one night only. So 9, you know.
Yeah, and NWO was like half of the WCW roster, if not more.
Yeah, but when do you see factions any bigger than 6? You know,
Should
in
never see a
WWE.
faction bigger than 6.
Judgment Day has had 6 members at one point. Bloodline.
Bloodline at most was 5 with a manager. Would be 6, not counting the manager. 5 active wrestlers
Oh
at its
yeah,
height.
Zayn was out by the time.
Oh wow, yeah, and Sammy. No. I forgot about the honorary use because he was there when Solo was there too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's just
So they
very.
do occasionally,
Yeah,
but
it's very rare that we get that. Like the Nation, before that, I would have said the Nation of Domination in their original form, where it was just so many people coming out week to week.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get to talking about the main event segment of the evening, the contract signing for SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Championship between Seth Rollins and World Champion Roman Reigns, your tribal chief.
So Rollins literally just signs the contract and picks up the mic,
which I absolutely loved.
That was an amazing moment. Like no hesitation whatsoever. He's like,
why should he?
And then I'm going to talk smack.
Yeah, why should he hesitate? I mean, he's never lost a one-on-one match to Roman Reigns. Why should he hesitate? He's in the driver's seat here as far as I'm concerned.
And I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember by the end of it, I was like, that's right. As he like got up, left the ring and started to walk away.
Oh, because that's what he talked about. Roman's never beaten him. And then we get Roman baiting him back to the ring with what he said. And as I said before we went live, this, because you made a mention that this didn't feel like a typical promo and like the way things were being said, that you heard better from like Roman. And then as it went on, it kind of, you saying that, and it kind of hit into me that this wasn't meant to be like that. This was meant to be personal. This was meant to be more of them almost breaking full-blown kayfabe to actually go at each other.
Like they weren't going for the sound clips. They were attacking.
Yeah, almost like they had, like I said, it felt like a Paul Heyman segment. It felt like they had a lot of free reign to say what they wanted out there. Because it felt very much them going through their history and still taking shots at each other.
Yeah.
Which absolutely love.
I feel like Rollins got the better of the exchange because Roman's rebuttal. After
is that all you got?
Well, not just before Seth even said that. As soon as Roman finished, we were watching it in the before we went live in this very here room, and I said that was weak. And like as soon as Seth grabs the mic, that's all you got. He like just pretty much confirmed like what I was hearing.
Well, both promos were very much the way they said everything was very much low hanging fruit. Like it was a rundown of the story.
Yeah,
low hanging fruit. We still have 3 weeks to build to this. I think this is the night 2 main event. And the reason I say that, and you didn't like that I said this, the person I watched with that we had also backstage understood where I came from with this. Growing up through so many generations of wrestling now, you know, starting with like the 80s and stuff watching, I made the comparison that this is this generation's Hogan Warrior. You know, this is this generation's Austin Rock. See, I don't know if I want to say like 2010 Cena Edge or early 2000s, like whatever the comparison for those are, but just looking at the comparison of the era, that the way they started, I felt like that they're building this now is
this feels more like Taker Kane to me.
No, it doesn't get that. even though that was long standing, it always felt like anytime they feuded with each other, it was because there was nothing else for the other to do. And they were like, well, we have nothing for you, Taker. Well, Kane, we have nothing for you. So you're just going to have a short feud with your brother so we can so it buys us time to get to the next thing. To where this was like, I'm trying to think like Hogan Andre, leading the WrestleMania thing, Savage Steamboat, some of these bigger names to where it just built up over time. Like
okay, I
propose.
I
Rock Austin was the same way.
I will concede that this is more like Hogan Macho.
Okay, no, whatever the big names are,
because Macho was back and forth, heel and face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was the whole Mega Powers breakup too.
Exactly.
So no, I like that comparison because if we look over the last 11, 12 years, their paths
was always face.
Yeah, like their paths have always crossed, and we have a moment where one had never beaten the other, which I want to say they had beaten each other at some point leading up to their WrestleMania match.
Yeah,
not quite like this. But the story being told, the paths they went on, the comparisons you can make, they acknowledge it in the promo that, oh, you're number 2, I'm number 1, and it's always bothered you because you were with Triple H. You're basically running the show. Like a lot of those little mentions,
the authority.
Yeah, just go a long way. Being said that Seth Rollins needed Money in the Bank not once but twice, had to fake an injury.
With corporate Kane. Oh my God.
Like just the way they did everything, the way it was told. It really gave me that vibe of like, hey, you picked the right song and you go through their entire history and clip it to like a 45-second to a minute video package like they did Austin Rock for that third match at WrestleMania. Right. Like you're going to get some of those same feels with the right song of seeing all the history between them, and I said when we were watching it, yeah, if Roman Reigns had taken his eyes off the ball to hit Seth with that chair at WrestleMania 40, Roman doesn't lose that title. Roman wins the rematch with Cody. And Cody never finishes the story.
Well, you froze, but you picked up right where you left off, I think.
No, I was talking WrestleMania 40, him taking the chair, hitting Seth.
No, I get it. You froze, yeah. But like when you resumed, you picked up right where you left off.
Yeah, I'm starting to be able to catch where it cuts me off.
I know it hasn't been happening to me a lot since I stopped using that laptop.
So just the comparison of that comparison, like Cena Edge would be a good comparison too along the way. Even for this kind of Cena Batista, because Cena never beat Batista until later on.
I wasn't around for that era.
It wasn't a bad era. It was just they were always kept on. It was just very few times they were able to cross paths.
Right, different shows, right?
Yeah, usually they were on different shows.
Yeah,
Batista was usually on SmackDown and Cena was on Raw once that 2006 draft happened. 2005.
Yeah, I saw almost nothing from like 2002 until 2007-ish.
But yeah, and then they break out in a fight at the end, which how many contract signings don't break out into a fight at the end?
Very few, but there are some.
That poor table was spared this week.
That's all right. We saw some tables destroyed.
Yeah.
Well, more so doors.
Yeah, because it's the indies. They can't afford tables. Tables are expensive. But no, again, I felt like this show flowed really well given how long the gauntlet match was. That it felt like almost like an old school Raw. There were ad breaks, but not a lot of filler with backstage segments and promos.
Yeah. In which, I kind of come to appreciate that kind of thing. It almost seems like they're weaning that out. Especially with like the PLEs nowadays. You don't see that a lot at all. In fact, in the PLEs, you might get one backstage segment, no vignettes. And so it's kind of like, are they trying to do away with that and just make everything in ring?
I mean, I feel like this week, because the last couple weeks we've had a good dose of it. I feel like this week was the gauntlet match was going to get a lot of time. It was 5 matches. 6, 7
True.
people. So yeah,
Yeah,
6 matches.
This kind of, yeah, so this might be just kind of like an off thing.
It's more of an
'Cause
aberration.
There were like at least what, like 3 or 4 segments backstage.
So in-ring segment to start the show, in-ring segment, backstage segment. So that's what, 3. In-ring segment with Bailey and Lyra, 4.
It does seem
So
like a lot less, but at the same time, we're under 3 hours now.
But we only did get 3 matches tonight. If we look at the gauntlet match as one match,
See, for
and not
every,
6
in my
individual
opinion-
matches.
in my opinion, for every hour of programming, you should get 2 or 3 matches.
But then if we look at this, and I'm just going by that 2.5 hour show, 5 matches, that they typically hit about that. 1, 2, and it was 3 tonight because the Intercontinental title match or number 1 contender gauntlet was 6 matches in 1 match. Typically, if I go back and look at
Comparing it to other promotions, there's not as much wrestling on the show. You look at TNA, for a 2-hour show, you're getting like 8 matches. You look at AEW in a 2.5-hour show, you're probably getting 8 or 9 matches.
So last week was also 4 matches.
Yeah, it's like there's less and less wrestling, but it still takes up almost 3 hours.
Well, yeah, because of all the ads time.
Like AEW at least will take anyone from backstage and be like, "Hey, you want to go with that guy? Cool, you're on second." Like WWE, it's like, nope.
Yeah,
this is
so
what we're doing.
it looks
We're
like
gonna talk
typically
for an hour.
So typically it looks like it's 4 matches they average a week. If I go back over just the last 3 weeks, they've averaged 4 matches.
That's horrible for a 2.5-hour show. That's less than 2 matches an hour. It's a wrestling show.
I mean, if we look at it, it's also why PLEs always feel like not as important now because they literally have the same amount of matches as your weekly TV show. And you're doing no segments and just ads. And you're stretching that into a 3-hour thing there with just longer matches.
Yeah, like they've totally tried to change the structure, and it's very advertiser friendly, but it's not very wrestling fan friendly.
No. I mean, the argument I'll make is I feel like I don't get as many ads, but I get as many ad breaks, kind of, with like watching AEW. So I watch it the next day pretty much on Max.
Yeah,
and
but
they keep all the
picture.
Not on HBO Max, they don't.
Well, you got to watch it on TBS, man.
Yeah, well, usually I'm at home. I'm at school.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm at the school, so. And by the time I get home, I don't want to put it on and sit there and invest the time into staying up late watching it. unlike I did last night that the NASCAR race from North Carolina got rain delayed. I put on something to go look for something on HBO Max, and they were only halfway through the race, and I sat up till 2 a.m. watching the race. I'm like, I haven't gotten to really watch a race all year. Let's go.
Well, you had a short day at the shoot job today, so you're good.
Oh, I was off today, so.
Oh, so okay. I thought it was a short day. Never mind.
But yeah, that was our Monday Night Raw with Seth Rollins standing tall, going off the air, putting down Roman.
Overall, it was a pretty good show. I was definitely wrapped in for a lot of the segments. The match quality was there. You know
I
what
feel
I
like
mean?
everything we saw
especially
today
with
was,
that gauntlet.
yeah, everything we saw today was meaningful. I feel like there wasn't anything
Yeah,
throwaway that was just random. Like even like somebody
That's
for
what
you.
disappoints me. That's what I need throwaway. I need something I can
No,
just be like,
you know,
this is nothing.
this show didn't need it. I feel like honestly, if I'm looking at anything on here that was the throwaway, it was Lyra and Bailey that was just spacing it.
Yeah.
And that sucks for them because
That
those
will
two.
never be anything more than the cool down match. That will never be.
I think they're going to. I think they have a good chance to put on a hell of a match at Saturday night's main event, and could be the match of that night.
Could.
Maybe because
Could.
they've worked together. Yeah, like I said, it could because they've worked
Could.
together so long. They've been working together for damn near 2 years now.
Dude,
So now
do
being
you
on the
want to
opposite
do-
side,
Do you want to do a Saturday night's main event watch along live stream?
I guess we can. I can make a graphic for that. I don't know why you didn't wait just to ask me when we went off air, but
You're right. Forget I said that.
Authorities have issued a public alert. The suspect is wanted for criminal activity and is considered dangerous. Do not approach.
Yeah, so forget I said that.
yeah,
Forget I said that. We'll just go off air, and then I have something to ask you about.
well, too late now. I already know.
You've already started on the graphic anyway, I'm sure. See, these are three. Okay, these are such different emotions that you're showing. Okay, like
I'm
that
feeling
first
them
one-
all at once, man.
Like, and oh my god, and this is just so many different emotions. That's a vibe, right there.
That's a vibe.
That's not an emotion.
Oh
that's a
God, I thought I deleted that earlier.
You can delete that. I'll still always have it.
Oh, I know. But yeah, I felt like nothing was really throwaway that I didn't need to pay attention to. I was really disappointed that they just didn't do the Jimmy Uso and Royce Keys thing live on air, and that they did it in the commercial break.
Like coming back, it was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah. I was like, we didn't go to break with a match. Like I looked back at my notes, like, did I miss something?
Did I black out for 5 days and now it's Friday?
Yeah, like what the hell is going on? But no, good Raw. 3 weeks out. Let's see how we build this. Saturday night's main event this weekend. We could be live. Pay attention and find out on our social medias. And don't forget, you can follow us at BJDG Talk Wrestling, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. Other platforms coming soon. This Tuesday on Indie Spotlight, we will be talking. We'll be talking about the shows we attended. If you look here, SPO Big Heat, that was this past Friday. Coming up, Hell's Kitchen. We have a card for that that's been announced. We'll preview some of that on tomorrow's show. And from yesterday, we'll also be talking about Super Havoc Pro Opening Day, which, if everything goes well, we will have Sean Henderson as our guest.
All right.
Which, if you're not aware of what happened at this show, it did stream live on the SPO YouTube page.
Yeah, you're gonna want to watch that.
Yeah, it was a very, very good show. So scan that QR code and watch both shows before Tuesday if you can. Before tomorrow, 6 p.m.
There's a bit of a rough moment in there in the second to last match.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the building for it, but I just hope everything is okay after that.
But yeah, BJ, as always, this was incredibly painstaking for me to do with you.
Always. No, that's
Like, you can't you just make it an easy night for me?
You see what's behind me. No, I turn into a troll the more I drink.
1 hour later.
You fucking
Oh, come on, we're only at 1:15.
But enough playing sound effects here. For BJ,
That was my fault.
I'm DG, the Danger Ginger. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see you tomorrow for Indie Spotlight. Catch you then.